Good morning, everyone. We thought we'd let you in a little bit early. We have 1 minute prior to start. Thank you all for joining us for our annual State of the County address. I think we're going to go ahead and get started. I got 8 a.m. So without further ado, it is my honor to introduce representing Transformation Training and Development, Dr. Kenesha Williams. Good morning, Kenesha.
Well, good morning, friends and family. Listen, I hope that you're not zoomed out. I promise. We're going to have a good time here this morning. I have the distinct honor and privilege to be your MC on today, and I promise to do my very best to keep it exciting for you. So at this time, I would like to ask Pastor Rick Stonestreet with Mountain View Baptist Church if he could please lead us in the invocation. Good morning, Pastor Stonestreet. And Jenny, we're going to go ahead.
I think Pastor Stonestreet is having trouble logging in, so why don't we go ahead and defer to our very own Jenny Flores to give today's invocation. Good morning, Jenny.
Good morning, Jenny.
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Williams and Mark. It's a pleasure to be here and to see everyone through Zoom. So it is my privilege to bring our invocation this morning. So if you can all please join me and bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you, Lord, for this beautiful day. We want to thank you, God, for the opportunity that we have to meet on Zoom with how crazy things are right now. I just thank you that we have the means to still connect in some way. And Lord, I want to pray that this State of the County address is just so informational to our chamber members and community members. I want to pray that this time is blessed, and I want to pray, Lord, that you would watch over all of our business leaders, all of our business owners, every business and entity that is represented today, Father God. We ask that you would bless them, that you would watch over them. And again, Father, we thank you for this time and just ask that you would be lifted up here today. And we just thank you for all of your provision, all of your blessings, and for taking care of us through every single thing, Lord. So again, we thank you for this day. And in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Wonderful job, Denny. Thank you so much for jumping in and taking care of those blessings. So at this time, I would love for you all to join me in our Pledge of Allegiance. Feel free to stand if you'd like. And we're going to get started on 3. All right, family, 1, 2, and 3. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. All right, family, now our very own president and CEO, Mark Crefeld, he will once again be handling the bell ringing duties today. Is this correct, Mark?
It is correct. Thank you.
Okay, now listen, I hear that Mark is fierce with that bell. So just be mindful that if you have a time limit, we are all professionals, we're all adults. We want to stick within that time limit so we can present a wonderful Zoom out meeting. All right, so now I would like to introduce today's gift card giveaway sponsor, Mr. David Stumba with Reach Air Medical Services to present. Good morning, David.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me, and it's good to see everybody on Zoom. As you know, REACH is one of the proud air ambulance providers for San Bernardino County, and what we have done is we have partnered with the Chamber to offer a special Chamber member discounted rate of $65 a year for Chamber members and their employees on our membership program. I want you all to listen carefully to the video that's getting ready to play because the answer to today's trivia question is in that video. Please roll the video.
When medical emergencies happen, quick access to life-saving care can make all the difference. In critical situations, first responders may use an air ambulance to provide medical treatment and transport, dramatically reducing travel time to an emergency facility when minutes matter. Air Medcare network providers can be there for any patient in an emergency, but having an AMCN membership adds a layer of financial protection. Even with the most comprehensive coverage, your insurance may not cover the total cost of emergency air transport. Out-of-pocket costs could be substantial. As an Air Medcare member, you will have no out-of-pocket costs when flown by an Air Medcare network provider. With hundreds of locations across the U.S. and over 3 million members, we have the largest provider network. Whether you're traveling or at home, your entire household is covered. Protect what matters. Enroll now.
Okay, so for today's gift card giveaway, the first 10 people to email Mark the answer to this question: how many members does Air Medcare Network have? And what is the cost for chamber members for our air ambulance membership program?
All right, thank you so much, David. Excellent presentation. Now, today, we have the pleasure of having two Valley Morning Insight presenting sponsors, Cornerstone Development Company and the Victor Valley College Foundation. Now, before I introduce our first sponsor, we're going to quickly transition to his screen. So at this time, I have the pleasure to welcome Chad Scholes. He is the CEO of Cornerstone Development Company. Good morning, Chad.
I think we're having some technical difficulties with Chad joining us.
Okay, so we'll come back to Chad. Go ahead,
Why
Mark.
don't we go through the rest of the sponsors, and after the general sponsors, we'll come back and see if Chad's with us.
Absolutely. So I would like to introduce now at this time our business sponsors, and we have the pleasure of showing their cards. First, we have Don Ferresi Charitable Foundation. Next, we have ICR Staffing Services. I saw Bill give a hands up to that. Next, we have Mountain Desert Career Pathways and Mountain Desert Economic Partnership. Again, thank you for those sponsors. So now I would also like to recognize all of our general sponsors, and it's a great list. So just make sure that we're paying attention to that. So we have Alaska USA Business and Commercial Services, Child Care Resource Center, Cracker Barrel Old Country Store. We have Desert Valley Hospital or Desert Valley Medical Group, Excelsior Charter Schools, Heritage Victor Valley Medical Group, Mojave Water Agency, Southern California Edison, Southwest Gas, and last but certainly not least, Sterling Development. Again, let's give it up for our business sponsors. Thank you so much for sponsoring this morning's meeting. Also at this time, I would like to introduce what was going to be our second presenting sponsor.
Actually, let's go back. Yeah, let's go back to Chad, Kanisha.
Let's go back to Chad. All right. Well, come on up, Chad. Good morning. Welcome.
Oh my goodness, this was a bit awkward, but thanks. We appreciate the kindness. Hey guys, it's a pleasure to be here today, chamber members and guests. I have just a few short minutes to chat with you right now. And I want to talk about two things today. So the first thing I want to talk about is how Cornerstone Construction Company can help you and the people you do life with on a daily basis. It's pretty special. And secondly, I want to talk about how us together can help our community and one another as businesses in these challenging times. I don't have a whole lot of time, so let's get started. Some, if not most of you, were at our State of the City VR home tour presentation earlier this year. It was really special, pre-COVID obviously, because people are gross and now we're all hanging out in our own space. But If you were there and we were all in the same room, I would ask you guys to give a big shout out if you enjoyed that presentation. Secondly, this year, we had a great event in August where we actually got to present to you guys our first of 5 models that we're rolling out this year and next year. And we had over 400 people come out to that event to enjoy a personalized tour through that model, to enjoy free In-N-Out Burger, free Kona Ice, and free Tanyan. It was pretty spectacular. To the rest of you folks who have no idea what I'm talking about, we're a Cornerstone construction company, and in the home building market, we're doing some pretty special things. So some of the things that we're doing is, for the first time in history, we can actually build your home fully customized to exactly what you're looking for before we even put a shovel in the ground. Folks, one of the really cool things that is pretty fantastic is the VR, and you're gonna see a video playing behind me here that's gonna show you a real experience of one of our customers moving through the home and designing it to themselves. We're talking cabinets, flooring, paint, showers, countertops, the garage accessories, everything in the home, windows. We can change it and make it to exactly what you want. Appliances, the works. In addition to that, our project management and interior design team has taken all 5 of our models and built a pre-designed interior design layout specific to your taste, Pinterest approved, obviously that matters. And what that does is that takes a tremendous amount of stress off of your plate when you come in and you want to make your home Cornerstone built. Folks, I don't know if you've ever heard anything like that before, or if you've ever seen that, but that's what we're doing on a daily basis here when we build your home. Our core values here at Cornerstone Development Company are quality, communication, and world change. And of those 3 things, we live by them and we build by them. Over the last few weeks, I've been challenging myself to really reflect on 2020 and figure out exactly what were some positive things. It's been a horrendous year for a lot of us, but I wanted to focus on some good things. And one of the big things I thought of was that we launched 5 new models this year. It was incredible, from 1,700 square feet all the way to 3,200 square feet, from a quaint farmhouse to a multi-generational traditional home we call our family legacy. Craftsman, modern, contemporary, and more. We've got a home for every flavor, every size, and every situation that you may be in. Why would you settle for the home you're living in now, or for a tract home that has no backyard? You'll never be able to fit a pool back there, maybe a small one, when you can build your dream home any way you want, anywhere you want. Folks, that's what we're offering. So here's the big question as I'm closing here. Why does this matter to you? It matters to you because most of us have one thing in common. We live in a home. At least I hope we have that in common. Have you considered building your own home? Is it that time? I know 2020 has been stressful, but is it that time? To all the real estate agents in the room, or your room, or wherever you are, we may not want to know. Have you considered the fact that every vacant lot is a potential opportunity for you to sell a home and get broker co-op? In addition to that, title officers, lenders, escrow, insurance brokers, have you guys considered that this is a great opportunity for you to sink your business teeth into? Folks, this is what we're doing here today. Isn't it time to build your dream home? So the next thing, how can you help us, your community, and yourself? We're a chamber of members that are passionate about supporting one another. It's time to get the word out. Folks, a lot of people are worried that they don't have enough money. It's too stressful. 2020 has been a rough year. I see you, Mark. Is it time to go? Visit www.cornerstone.dev and let's get the word out. You can learn about our floor plans, our pricing, our process, interior design, and more. We're really excited to see you guys. Again, cornerstone.dev. I'll put that in the comments. Thanks so much, folks.
All right, Chad, thank you. Wonderful job. Now we have the pleasure of going to our second presenting sponsor, and this is going to be Kirsten Acosta, and she's with the Victor Valley College Foundation. Good morning, Kirsten. And I think we want to hear your wonderful voice, so go ahead and unmute for us.
Yes, there we are. You can hear me now. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for allowing us to be a sponsor. High Desert Opportunity Summit 2020 is right around the corner, and it's one of our favorite events that connects the business community to the growing educational landscape in our region. And we want to thank Southern California Logistics Airport, who is our presenting sponsor. And boy, are you going to be in for a treat. During the summit, you will get a firsthand behind the scenes look at what is happening at SCLA, but you're going to have to tune in to find out. Now I'd like to take a look at our video. So that will beget the question, how are you finding focus in 2020? Please roll the video.
When this region is pushing to be better than it was yesterday, when it's working to inspire the leaders of tomorrow, when it comes together to celebrate its communities of devoted individuals, that's opportunity. It's magic, just like our desert sunsets. High Desert Opportunity Summit is the chance for local communities to come together to showcase exciting and upcoming opportunities. It won't be like last year, no, but nothing's like last year. We know this. We aren't afraid of it. We're embracing it, adapting. This year, we're focusing. On October 22nd, 2020, we're going virtual. Join us to gain focus on all the things High Desert. Industry insights from the education, transportation, and healthcare sectors, plus so much more. Get ready as we highlight some of the things that make our community great. HDOS 2020 will show just how education fuels economic development. Get ready. Get set. Get focused.
Thank you. Here at the Victor Valley College Foundation, we are working closely with the community to change lives by providing access to educational opportunities in the High Desert. Proceeds from High Desert Opportunity Summit will support Victor Valley College's mission of student success. And now I would like to introduce our committee chair, Casey Armstrong.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. What a beautiful day it is. The High Desert Opportunity Summit Conference will host its first virtual conference, focusing on the marketing of the High Desert region for business, retention, and attraction, while also featuring an economic forecast of the Victor Valley and Inland Empire region. And I, for one, have never been so excited for an economist to speak, Mr. Chris Thornburg. This year's online conference will include panel discussions that showcase various sectors and business developments. From education to healthcare, we're focusing on how to move forward in 2020. This year, High Desert Opportunity Summit is finding focus, because I think that some of us have lost our focus. We invite you to register for one of the High Desert's largest events that showcases the magic and opportunity in our very own backyards. Ticket and sponsorship information is available at highdesertopportunitysummit.com. Let me repeat that, highdesertopportunitysummit.com. Okay, and I'm very excited for for this. Be one of the first 100 people to register and receive your exclusive HGOS box.
Oh, I'm seeing that bell, Miss Casey. We're gonna have you wrap it up.
We have limited registrations still available. Get your tickets now.
Oh, Casey, you did it. You brought it home. Excellent job. All right, at this time, I would like to call up Ruby Clark. She is the Chamber's Director of Member Services, and I thank her. She has been such a welcoming person. So good morning, Ruby.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Kanisha. Thank you for the introduction. Hello, members. We miss you all. I do want to welcome all of our new members. For State of the County, we have, advanced slide, Mountain View Baptist Church, Quack Car Wash, The Shared Shutter, and West Country Heating and Air. Thank you all to all of our new members. We welcome you, and thank you for renewing for our renewing members. We really appreciate the support and continued efforts. Take care.
Wonderful. Now, today's video spotlight is sponsored by the Victor Valley Rescue Mission. Roll that video, Jenny.
Victor Valley Rescue Mission has seen increased activity across all of its service platforms. The mobile shower unit individual uses increased from 400 plus prior to February to over 600 by April. Food pantries, our own, and the 73 partner agencies in the High Desert Food Collaborative have seen a 120% increase in food pantry visits across our high desert since March. The mission is seeing many unsheltered individuals to provide daily services to. It has been most satisfying to see the excellent work of the County of San Bernardino Behavioral Health Inroads team and the Sheriff's Hope team for placement of several most vulnerable unsheltered neighbors and friends via Project Roomkey, after the essential work at the emergency shelter drew to a close. The mission's Men's Life Recovery Program is robust, with graduates moving on to full-time employment with the ability, resiliency, and stability to thrive. Because of COVID-19, we revamped our outreach events. This last July, in partnership with Impact Church, High Desert Second Chance, the County Superintendent of Schools Office, and High Desert Transitional Living Connection, among others, we were hosted by the San Bernardino County Fairgrounds and able to hold a contactless drive-through backpack giveaway event for 1,500 children. With the fairgrounds, many of the same partners, ICR Staffing and High Desert Church, we will be hosting a drive-through contactless turkey basket giveaway on Saturday, November the 21st. This event will be held in concert with High Desert Second Chance, who will be holding a simultaneous event in Hesperia. By sharing databases and serving specific areas, we will be able to serve many more food insecure families. Today's total turkey basket count is 1,050. The rescue mission will also provide a Thanksgiving meal for unsheltered friends in our Old Town neighborhood the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. We will be utilizing the same cooperative drive-through model and location at Christmas for gifts for those who are 0 through 17 years of age on December the 21st. Visit our website at www.vvrescuemission.org and our Facebook page, Victor Valley Rescue Mission. Bill Edwards, the mission's director, will be sharing more details. Please consider donating and volunteering. Be a part of the joy.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Jenny. So now I would now like to introduce our chamber members who paid for a 1 minute, listen to that, members, 1 minute, 60 seconds. And Mark, you have been fierce this morning with that bell. So we want to make sure that we stay under that 60 seconds. So they're going to do a 1 minute sound off. So when I call your name and your businesses, please unmute your mic and you will have 1 minute to present your portion. So first we have the pleasure of having Bill Edwards with the Victor Valley Rescue Mission. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, everybody. Well, we have our work cut out for us for both Thanksgiving and Christmas. Our goals are bigger than they have been in the past years. Our goal is 1,050 turkey baskets to this community right here in the High Desert, with all the trimmings and pies too, so don't forget that. This is an increase of 950 baskets over last year. We need your help. As you've just seen in the video, we have had a huge increase of food insecurity locally. So many of us are very fortunate and have the means to provide all that is needed for our own families, even when times are tough. Many of the folks we serve have had help during this COVID, but the calls for service are not slowing down. Just know that there are those who still fall between the cracks of support. Our goal is lofty, but we believe all that we need to accomplish this goal has already been set aside and will be provided. Each year, we get to watch the generosity of this community make a positive impact on our local neighbors in need. If you or someone you know is in need this holiday season, all the instructions for signing up will be available on our Facebook page or call the mission. If you'd like to help, go to vvrescuemission.org and designate your meals for Thanksgiving, all right? And a quick shout out, I got 10 of these from Mark, so I sold 10 of them. If everybody grabs 10 of these and sells them, you will be helping the chamber, okay? Thank you. God bless you guys.
You did it, Bill. Great job.
I guess I can't ring that off.
Yeah, that was classy, Bill.
I feel like I've already lost control, Dr. Williams, but continue on. We'll try to get through this.
Absolutely. So next up, we have Inger Robertson representing A Better Way, Victor Valley Domestic Violence. And then good morning, Inger.
Good morning. So every year it's October, the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We're looking for partners to shine a light on domestic violence. Since we can't do things normally because of 2020 and COVID, we're asking for support from the Chamber of people that would be willing to help with the virtual vigil. We're asking agencies that'll take some names and honor them by stating their name and age in a video that we can place on my ED page. We also have the virtual walk a mile in their attire. We're looking for individuals willing to cross-dress for the cause and make a cell phone video and share some facts about domestic violence. If interested in participating in one or both of these, please email or call me. It'll be in the chat. We have the name tags for the vigil, and we carry cherry lipstick, high heels, and purple ties to borrow. And I can deliver, or you can stop by the office starting Monday. And in all seriousness, it's been a hard year for our valley. We've lost some people to domestic violence. So we are seeking your support in bringing it to a highlight. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, Inger. And I did not see Mark pulled up that bell. Great job. Okay, next up, we have Andrew Caravella with KVVB-TV. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to let everyone know that KVVB is airing several interviews that were done for candidates running locally in this year's November 3rd election. We are airing the interviews on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Facebook Watch, as well as over the air on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays at 7 p.m. Our next candidate, I believe, is Roger LaPlante, who airs tonight. We're encouraging everyone local to watch and share with their friends and family to help inform the community of who is running this year. Also, KVVB is getting ready to host a special workshop for small businesses that would like to successfully use social media to elevate their branding and business. Basically, we just want to help small businesses make more revenue. So if that sounds good, stay tuned to us, and we'll have more info very soon for you. Thank you.
Excellent job. Wonderful. And now for our last sound off. Let me see if I can pronounce this person's name. It says Dr. Kenesha Williams. Oh, that's me. All right. So I've got 1 minute. So here's my philosophy, family. Everything rises and falls on leadership. So as leaders of our businesses, of our organizations, that means if our lid is capped, our organizations are capped. So if we're looking to grow, particularly in this year of 2020, with all of its devastation, we have to grow. Oftentimes as leaders, we're focusing on our people, but what have we done for ourselves? So this Friday, I have the pleasure of hosting something called Live to Lead by Dr. John Maxwell. He is my personal mentor. He is the #1 leadership expert in the entire world, worth $10 million, but more than that, he's worth values-based leadership. I dropped the information in the chat box. Listen, guys, if you are a leader and you are serious about growth, you do not want to miss it. And if you cannot make it on Friday, still buy your ticket because you'll have 5 days. Thank you so much.
Oh, and Dr. Williams, we did actually have one other sound off,
Yes.
and maybe it wasn't in the revised script, but let me go ahead and welcome back from Cornerstone Construction, Chad Shellis. Chad.
Hey folks, just real quick, I've got 2 things to talk to you about. The first one's the most important, and that's that we are in voting season, and I'm challenging all of our business owners here on this call to follow along with Cornerstone and provide your employees with a 4-hour time off bracket on October 12th. That's this Monday. So that way your employees can review their ballot and make an educated decision. Most people do not review their ballot. They simply vote based off of signs. So give your employees 4 hours this Monday, paid time off to go review their ballot. And secondly, we join with us on November 3rd, giving your employees 4 more hours of paid time off to go to the polls and vote in person for those who can safely do so. This is a big time for this country, and we need as many people to make educated ballot castings as possible. In addition to that, little plug here, we've got 3 homes for sale. Check out the chat. They're great products. We're excited to get rid of them. Give your employees time off to go vote. 8 hours PTO, do it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chad, and thank you, Mark, for catching that. Okay, guys, now this is the time for today's program and our guest speaker who is here today to give us the state of the county address. Please, please help me to give a warm welcome from the San Bernardino County 1st District Supervisor, Robert Lovingood. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, and Doctor, thank you, and also Mark, thank you, and the Victor Valley Chamber for its really continued proactive engagement of the businesses here in the high desert. It means a lot in the nonprofits, our churches, and our schools. And I'm going to start with a COVID update. I couldn't imagine a year ago any one of us would have said this is going to be the way that we're meeting today, and the way it seems for the, unfortunately, part of the unforeseeable future going to continue to meet. You know, it's the top of the mind, everyone in the community. I look at our churches, I look at our schools, families, businesses, definitely businesses, small businesses. It's really beyond one of the most frustrating things I think we've all dealt with, me as an adult. I look and understand that it can impact. I know the CDC just changed their position, and when that just simply an outbreak. So an indefinite closure, what we're in today, and I think of Inger and I think of Better Way and her comments, this continued closure is going to compound those issues. We're taking families and children most at risk and pushing them further behind in education. And I really believe this is now being done without science. If we look across the 1st District and we look at our communities, the majority of them would be in orange or yellow versus purple where we are today. It's again without reasoning or science. I think it should be triggered now based on really one, actual deaths, which are extremely low, and current hospitalization, which it's not. The one thing I will ask, and it's kind of a difficult ask, but something I hope that everybody takes to heart, is the consideration of being tested, even though that you feel well. One of the metrics that the governor has required, again, that I disagree with, is that being tested. So there are a number of testing centers throughout the community, and that will help overall lifting a number of our communities. So again, I think the majority here will find an agreement with myself. That's a frustration, but I can say there is benefit in it, and it's quick and reasonably painless. So if you haven't seen, I want to talk about the CARES program. I don't know if many of the businesses of churches and private schools and nonprofits have heard about it, but we set aside $30 million of CARE funding. Currently, 11.3 million has been taken, leaving the other available. So with that, we're going to turn to a short video to highlight the CARES program.
The County of San Bernardino Board of Supervisors introduced the COVID-compliant Business Partnership Program on May 14, 2020, directing $30 million in funding to help small businesses as they prepare to reopen. Qualifying businesses can receive $2,500 to help meet public health guidelines when reopening. Other businesses can participate by committing to comply with public health orders and best practices, earning a window graphic to display in recognition of their efforts. As an added bonus, all businesses in the program gain exclusive access to personal protective equipment at the discounted county rate. Leveraging ESRI's technology and platform, the county's Information Services Department built and customized a user-friendly online application form for businesses to apply for funding and partnership with the county. Applicants are guided through the process, entering all information necessary to ensure compliance with federal, state, and local guidelines. As easy as 1, 2, 3, businesses upload their city business license, W-9, and payroll documentation for verification. For business owners with more than one location, the application's Add a Location feature saves them the hassle of having to complete multiple applications. In light of COVID-19, our team believes in the importance of a simplified process.
Thank you for the video, and I would encourage churches, nonprofits, private schools, and businesses to reach out and still apply by the end of this month, October 31st. You can also reach us at our office, 760-995-8100 for more additional information. I do think you'll find that the technology allows a pretty easy, seamless application process online. So if there's questions about that, though, don't hesitate. Next, we're going to talk about law enforcement and really the importance it plays in our community. It's never been understated. It's always been a part of really our office and our mission in service to our community. And when I look at that, it can't be understated. There's some very interesting conversations today, but I can share with you across the board, overwhelmingly what number one on everyone's mind throughout this state is public safety, and safety for their families, and safety for their communities, and safety for their businesses. As a supervisor, I've advocated and supported Sheriff McMahon's operation with $1 million annually for crime sweeps, which have been very effective in our community. He has done an exceptional job. I'll continue to advocate for that. My predecessor had allocated $75,000 a year. So getting the board to give an additional $1 million has allowed the sheriff to add additional sheriff officers into the unincorporated areas. Those officers have been a benefit to each municipal government. In times of issues and crisis, there's been additional resources to share and bring to our communities, which has been very important. So I cannot understate the tireless effort that our sheriff makes and what he serves in our community. And I appreciate his leadership today and going forward. With that, I would like to go ahead and ask Sheriff John McMahon to join us.
Well, good morning all, and good morning Supervisor Lovingood. Thanks to Mark and the Victor Valley Chamber for hosting this event. This will be your last one, Supervisor, and I will guarantee you we will miss your leadership and your strong support. I want to take just a minute and thank the business community who overwhelmingly support the efforts of the men and women in our organization that come to work every day and do an incredible job, doing their best to take care of the citizens of the high desert and the county across the board. Just to give you a quick update, as we entered into this interesting time in 2020, obviously we had to change some things like all of you did, and although our workload decreased and our number of inmates decreased initially, all of that has now come back. We had a handful of folks in our organization that got sick early on, but we're doing a great job now controlling it. We had a handful of inmates initially that got sick in the beginning, and all the inmates as well as the staff are wearing masks and continue to do that, and it certainly made a difference. All inmates that are being arrested that come in the back door of any one of our facilities are being tested for COVID and then isolated or quarantined at least until the results come back. So far, it's been a big success, and our staff inside the facility, both medical and safety, are doing an incredible job trying to control that as well. As far as on patrol with our deputy sheriffs responding to calls, we asked our dispatchers to probe just a bit further into the folks that were calling, asking them for information about whether anybody in the house is sick or any of that, so that our deputies are better prepared when they get there. But we continue to deliver the service that the citizens of the county expect, and our folks are doing a great job. As I indicated, our workload kind of went down in the beginning. Everybody was staying home. Everybody was doing their best to stay safe, but it seems like as time went on, there seems to be a bit of exhaustion with staying home and taking those precautions as they were before. So we're seeing more people out and about. For anybody that drives the Cone Pass or sees the traffic around the high desert, it's back. I'm not convinced yet, but it might be back at a higher rate than it was pre-COVID. Driving the pass every day like I do, man, seems like every day there's a problem in the pass, whether it be a fire or an accident or just simply a whole bunch of cars. So it's a good sign that the economy's coming back, and sales tax revenue is obviously a driver of the county budget, and that comes to us in the way of staffing and overtime, and as Supervisor mentioned, our ability to do a little bit additional work to attack and address that criminal element. In addition, early on we saw some of the protests, and you saw those as well in the news, however you follow it, whether it be the Daily Press or VVNG. But the number of protests that we had in our county were much, much less than we saw in other places across this country. We absolutely respect the right of folks to peacefully protest, and we had a number of those that went well, peaceful. Everybody minded their manners and did what they were supposed to, and we fully support that, and we'll do everything we can to protect those folks. But we have had a number that have gone the other way, and primarily by those activists that are paid protesters, and I know you hear that on occasion on the news, and it's absolutely true. There are people that come to these protests from out of the area, and they're paid to be there. They have discussions about whether or not they're going to get arrested and which ones are going to get arrested. It's all planned. So when they start to disobey the rules, start to cause problems or vandalize, that's when they start getting arrested. And we're not afraid to do that because it's our responsibility to protect those that want to peacefully protest. And I think those that come to cause problems dilute the message and give a bad name for those that want to express their rights that we have in this country. So we'll continue to take action when we need to, when those folks don't follow the rules, disobey the orders, or just simply start destroying things like we saw a couple of times. Fortunately for us, we haven't had much of that, and we'll continue to remain proactive. We just had one not long ago in the high desert, and some of the folks were causing problems, and they were immediately arrested and seemed to have quelled that to some degree. As we continue to go forward, I think it's our responsibility as law enforcement to share the great work that the men and women of our organization do across this county. We've historically met with different groups throughout the community and tried to share what we do, and the groups were great. But we're expanding that, and I think that's important. But we are now in the planning process of meeting with what we're calling the next gen group, which is the younger folks in our community that communicate different, have different expectations, maybe just ask a little bit more than traditional folks would. So we're in the planning process for that. We're lining up a group of next gen, or the younger generation, both in the desert and the valley, to meet with on a regular basis. And in one program that's exciting for us, and we've started it in Apple Valley and it will continue into Victorville soon, is community members from that specific community, and I'll use Apple Valley as an example, meeting with the captain of that specific station to get what's going on locally in that specific community. So members of the educational community, the town government in Apple Valley's case, as well as just citizens that are interested. And they've had one meeting already, and it's gone very well under the leadership of Dr. Derek King and Jason Cunningham, the captain out there, and the folks that participated in that. We're excited about it. I think it's an opportunity to tell our story a little bit more and expand on the opportunity to share the great work that we do on a regular basis, but also give us the opportunity to interact with the community and hear their concerns and questions, and maybe provide some explanations as to what we do and why we do it. That first meeting was a big success in Apple Valley, and Victorville will be coming next, and we're going to roll it out across the entire county. And I think that's just as important, if not more so, to make sure that everybody understands and has the opportunity to ask questions of us directly or your local station captain. That's truly important. So we couldn't do it without the support of the business community and the citizens that live in this county, and we can't thank you all enough. The men and women of our organization comment to me on a regular basis about the people that walk up to them and shake their hand and say thank you. Maybe not in today's time shaking their hand as much as we did prior to COVID. However, still walking up and saying thank you. The signs that we see that say we support our law enforcement, and the food that's dropped off at the station, trust me, they truly appreciate it, and they can't thank you enough for your continued support. The best part is we'll get through this. It's going to get better, and we'll continue to serve the county and the citizens to the best of our ability as we move into 2021 and say goodbye to 2020. Thanks again for all your support, and we're honored to be part of the community.
Thank you, John. I want to thank you for your leadership, your friendship, and the programs. I'd like to highlight one. This Pastor Graham's New Hope program is a reduction in recidivism, very strong program that we've supported and really working to move minor offenders back into a situation of returning to work and a living wage, and then keeping them out of jail and having add value to our community. So with that, and our partnership with the district attorney is next. Jason Anderson's office, we have worked on several programs. One of the biggest has been welfare fraud. With his office and support, there's been a number of welfare fraud sweeps. Those have been effective. We believe those programs are there for people that qualify, people that deserve. And when there's fraud in those areas, we've been pleased with the proactiveness of the DA's office to go and address those issues. We think that's critical. That allows really the availability of individuals qualify to have those benefits and not someone who's not. So this morning, Assistant District Attorney Julie Peterson is going to join us on Jason's behalf. He was not able to make it this morning, but I'm just going to go ahead and Julie, please join us and look forward to hearing your comments.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm the Assistant District Attorney over our criminal operations for the county. I'm also a desert dweller, so I really appreciate being a part of this and having this opportunity to speak. I've been a desert dweller for 30 years since I moved here for my job to become a prosecutor. Our DA's office, we see the desert as a real growth opportunity because of the affordability and the room to grow. And it is important to have resources for that work. And we've experienced that within our own office. Our Victorville DA's office has grown over the years. We filled our space within the courthouse. We acquired additional space in the courthouse. We filled that. We acquired a building and filled part of that building. And now we have filled the entire second building, and we are looking for more space. So that tells you that we've added prosecutors to handle criminal prosecutions that are up in the desert. We've also added victim services and with additional victim advocates and investigators that work with our office. I also wanted to mention to all of you as business members and residents of the desert that we do have a specialized unit, which is beyond our typical murder, rape, robbery, thefts, drugs. We handle a number of fraud cases, as the supervisor indicated. We also cover child abduction, consumer and environmental protection, auto insurance fraud, major fraud, real estate fraud, welfare fraud, workers' comp fraud. And as one example of a fraud that we handled recently, it was called Operation Override, where 8 criminal gang members from Ontario exploited a weakness in the vendor credit card terminals, and they bypassed the bank's approval step, and therefore invalid credit and debit cards were approved as valid. They built 14 car dealers in 3 counties out of 25 cars valued at over $433,000. So we charged 8 individuals with conspiracy, and they all have been convicted and they have been sentenced. So our office is here and available to you for those unusual kind of crimes that we don't always typically think of as being handled by our office. And then just briefly, I wanted to touch on one last area that I think is relevant to all of us, especially right now in the current climate. When DA Jason Anderson took office in 2019, he wanted an officer-involved shooting unit developed. And during the course of the next year, we worked on developing that. It was to include deputy district attorneys as well as investigators within our office, all of which are experienced. And we currently have that unit in place. We went operational March of 2020. We have a specialized training given, and our deputy DAs currently have collectively 400 hours of training relevant to OISs, and that's amongst 3 attorneys that are in the unit. During this time, we worked with all of the law enforcement agencies in our county to arrive at an agreement where we would respond to the scene of an officer-involved shooting, and we have been doing that since March of 2020. We send a deputy DA and we send 1 or 2 investigators to the scene. We then, once we're there, we have investigators that also participate with observing the interviews and providing input. Then we receive all of the reports on the officer-involved shootings. We receive all the recordings. If there's additional investigation that needs to be done, we can do that. We review all of the material. We notify the agency then of our results. And then we also release our memorandum of our results to the public, and we post them on our website. So having that unit in place helps us to obtain a more timely conclusion, and it also helps develop transparency and accountability that the public wants, while at the same time respecting and inspiring confidence in the rule of law, which we all need to follow. This is not only a key aspect of our mission statement, but it's also what the residents of San Bernardino County expect. And we are happy and thankful to be able to have the resources that we can have this officer-involved shooting unit. Thank you.
Julie, I want to thank you this morning. I'd like to thank you for joining us and really being a part of our community. I think that's important. And thanks for really stepping in for Jason this morning. I understand he's at a conference.
Yes, thank you. My pleasure.
Well, thanks. And, folks, next we're going to turn to economic development. And when we're going to talk about that, being here going on 32 years, actually, I believe 33, getting a little old, might be counting backwards, but we're counting wrong. The Desert First District has tremendous opportunities for manufacturers. As we look nationally at the fact to reshore or offshore, bring back manufacturing, we're in a prime location. We export close to 90,000 professionals every day up and down the pass. As the sheriff mentioned, and certainly I've been engaged, the traffic's back up. The amount of truck traffic is there on a regular basis, which is a great sign. If we're looking at the port traffic of LA, we're at really breaking records of all-time highs, back to exporting now. Exports are out shipping imports currently, which is, again, good for us. So when I look at the desert and I look what's going on, I want to talk about the High Desert Training Center at Southern California Airport. That is a absolute jewel, and it's a 66,000 square foot building that was provided by Sterling Capital Investment, Prologic, and X Quadrant. These private companies step forward in a way to provide a facility that's going to create living wages. The High Desert Manufacturing Council and the County Workforce Development and Victor Valley College worked together to bring this forward. And again, it can't be understated. And when we looked around, California Steel started in down below with Chafee, then Barstow ignited their program. Now we've come along with a program just as strong. It's going to walk in and create living wages. And when I say that, you're having folks that can leave high school with 1 year's training and be in a $70,000 a year position. The A&P program currently in place is creating the same thing. There's not enough A&P mechanics, probably balanced or impacted somewhat today because of COVID. But as this is lifted and flights go back, there's just a shortage. I say this all the time. I'm 63 this year. The baby boomers that are exiting are creating an opportunity for really young adults that can't be understated as the value of opportunities. These training programs and what we can do in the desert will bring people off the highway, and we have affordable housing, which makes it all go that better. We're going to continue to grow. And I'm going to invite our Economic Development Interim Director, Soua Vang. Soua is going to join us with some insights about our region and things and efforts that are going on within her department of the county. Soua, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Supervisor Lovingood, and good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be a part of this panel discussion today and happy to share some information as it relates to some of the business and economic activity that we're seeing throughout this region in spite of COVID-19. So now more than ever in this new normal that we're all living in, many people are turning to online shopping. I'm guilty of it. I think many of us on this webinar is contributing to that trend. And that's just driving demand for industrial space throughout the region. That's very evident in the high desert market of San Bernardino County. In particular, we're seeing business activities such as a significant industrial development along the 15 freeway in the city of Hesperia. Fully entitled, upon completion, will be comprised of over 3 million square feet of Class A buildings. So we're excited to hear about that. I think definitely it'll be a game changer for the high desert market. And it's, again, in a prime location. To add to that excitement, Modway Furniture will be expanding to one of these buildings as well. And that will bring additional employment opportunities to our high desert region. I also like to share, not sure if everyone's aware, but even in the midst of this pandemic, Sterling Capital Investments announced earlier this year 3 major lease transactions with the Boeing company, with also United Furniture Industries, as well as ComAv. And so again, many exciting developments, and that's just not all. That's just, a summary of a few things that will definitely bring job creation and overall economic impacts to the high desert. As Supervisor Lovingood mentioned, with the news of the High Desert Training Center, 2020 actually marked the launch of this training center, and it is definitely an incredible asset and resource that we have here in the high desert that will provide not just instructional, but hands-on training programs to better prepare the high desert region's workforce to meet the needs of businesses today and also well into the future. I also would like to point out that it will create career pathways for students to employment opportunities as well. There are a number of apprenticeship programs that's being offered at the High Desert Training Center that is catered specifically to what I like to call them opportunity sectors or demand sectors, such as manufacturing, avionics, building materials, mining, to name a few, that will help upskill and reskill the labor force in the high desert. Victor Valley College, who is actually operating out of the High Desert Training Center, recently shared that they just completed their first cohort apprenticeship program last month. So again, it's very exciting to hear the progression that has been made there. And there are additional cohort programs that are currently being planned as we speak. Several apprentices, from my understanding, has already been hired as a result. So I cannot emphasize enough the importance of this type of collaboration, these great partnerships that truly provides an opportunity for talent to be developed right here in our backyard to help fill the critical skills gap, to meet industry needs, as well as create a pipeline of talent. And that will lead to good paying jobs for our county. So with that, I don't know if I have much time, but certainly economic development, we do help support the small business community. We have a number of programs and services available. Please don't hesitate to reach out anytime. We're happy to assist. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue, and thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to turn to education as we shift about really career pathways and education. I would like to invite our county school superintendent, Ted Alejandre, to join us now. Good morning, Ted.
Good morning, Supervisor, and thank you, Mark, and the Victor Valley Chamber. You guys are doing an incredible job for the communities in the high desert, and just want to thank you for the opportunity to give a brief update on what's taking place in education here in San Bernardino County. It wasn't too long ago, I also remember in March when we started to have this pandemic impact our communities. And when our schools first closed, we felt initially it was going to be a few weeks, and then it turned out to be a few months, and then more months, and we closed for the end of the year. And then we thought we'd start back in live, and unfortunately weren't able to do that. So distance learning has been embedded within all of our school districts. And I'll tell you, from the very first few weeks, we were able to bring about a number of content experts to work with our team and digital learning services here at the county to really train educators, teachers, and paraprofessionals on how to utilize digital learning platforms and other means of connecting with students in a way that was most beneficial to students. We know how challenging that is, but yet I'll tell you, the efforts and the dedication of teachers have been phenomenal. Since March, we've engaged in over 25,000 educators here in San Bernardino County through that professional development training to support school districts and how they reach students in this environment. We established a distance learning portal on our website. In fact, if you go there today, you'll see it right on the front. And it really provides some of the best resources and references for parents, for teachers, for administrators and others to really implement quality programs in this kind of challenging environment. We partnered with KBCR to have them telecast everything in the daytime hours aligned with our K-12 standards. And so if you go onto the website, you'll see the different programs, and then you'll see a number of work-based learning extensions and lesson plan extensions so that parents and students can really enhance their learning from the program that's embedded within the KBCR schedules. And then devices and hotspots. We've worked with school districts to help distribute those and work with our communities, get those out to students so that they have access. We still have a need of getting devices out to students. I think in our last survey, we had 6,000. And because of the support, as Supervisor Lovingood mentioned, with the County Board of Supervisors and some CARES funding, we're about to deploy another 2,000 devices across our county so that school districts can access those. And we have a number of others on back order that individual districts have ordered, but with the supply change, they're still waiting for those to come through. But there's a huge effort to get more and more devices into homes along with the connectivity needed so students can access the teachers that are providing those distance learning instruction. So the majority of our schools are in distance learning. They've started back in August, and that's a requirement with the state because we're still in purple. And if you're in purple, you're not allowed to bring students in unless you get a waiver. And I really want to commend the Board of Supervisors and Department of Public Health because they really looked at the data. And as the supervisor mentioned, there's a number of areas in our county that don't have the impact as others. The transmission rates are lower, the positivity rates are lower. And so they have the data in their own districts to then submit waivers to the state to get approval to have instruction at their schools. And Lucerne Valley, as many of you might know, was one of the first in the state to receive a waiver. And Peter and his team brought back students. I went there the first day of the second cohort. It was very well organized. They had social distancing and facial coverings and face shields and thermometers to check student temperatures. And ever since then, it's gone very well. And so others are applying for waivers. In fact, as of today, we have 52 schools throughout San Bernardino County that have been approved for waivers and have brought back students or will be bringing back students live into their school environments to have that face-to-face instruction. And we have another 23 that are pending approval by County Public Health so that those students can come back. And then in another way for bringing back students, and this does not require a waiver, and we have a number of districts, especially out in the high desert with Hesperia, Lucerne, Snowline, Bear Valley, and Needles, and others are planning it to really bring back small groups in a way that they can maintain social distancing and make sure that they're following all the protocols of public health so that those small groups of students can receive instruction. And Cal OES at the state level received some significant funding from the state to get PPE and no-touch thermometers and facial coverings out to schools, and they didn't have a way to really distribute that effectively, so they reached out to county offices. And so we just said, absolutely, we'll do what we can to get that out to our school districts. We received truckloads of PPE that came into our main warehouse, and through the support of our team and the collaboration of our school districts, we're able to get 60-day supply of PPE out to our school districts, so they're stocked with that and ready to go when they start bringing back students. And I'll tell you, when you talk about serving the nutrition needs of our communities, the districts in our county have really stepped up. Every single one of them have looked at the best way to have grab and go services so that parents and their community can come every day to get nutrition, to get lunches and get food for their children and make sure that that's covered. And utilizing Esri software, we mapped out the locations on our website so that anybody that needs information on where to access that you can go there. Individual districts have posted those on their website in many cases, and the information is out there for parents to come and get those nutritious meals for their students. So when you look at trying to also deal with the social emotional needs, many of us know that's in place. We had our Southern Region Wellness Conference. We looked at virtual platforms. We have one called Connect 6, which is phenomenal. Through that, we were able to get 1,400 educators and probation and therapists and social workers involved in a lot of really quality time to meet with the professionals to deal with social emotional needs of students and families, because the mental health issue is such an important area to deal with. And so that's been emphasized. And as the supervisor mentioned, really having the access to industry so students see what the opportunities are through our SB Connect under our Alliance for Education and utilizing a platform called NEPRIS. We've been able to bring in industry professionals digitally into classrooms in this virtual environment so they can talk about what their industry does and how to obtain certification to get there and how to look at opportunities that can give them hope after they graduate for those jobs that the supervisor mentioned. And I'll tell you, Supervisor Lovingood has been absolutely incredibly supportive of work-based learning and career technical education so that we can really enhance that. And you'll be hearing from MDCP, which is just recognized by the state for California School Boards Association for the work that they're doing and bringing districts together through the amazing leadership of our superintendents out in the high desert. A number of them are on this call, and as well as our charter schools that have really utilized the services and the information to increase CT programs for all the students that they're serving in our county. It's really a partnership and a collaborative effort all along. In fact, StepCon, which is led through Born Industries in Riverside and San Bernardino County, have teamed up. We'll be hosting that here next week, and we have over 10,000 students and teachers signed up for that to be involved in this virtual opportunity. So just a number of things going on, and I just want to end by saying that as we start working with all of our educators, and one of the things that our students are always asking for is how do they get the information, how do they have the guidance, how do they have support, and so all of us can play a key role in that. When you start to meet with students and you start to support educators and you start to let them know what no kidding is the real way to get from here to here. How can they get that information? How can they get that contact? How can they get, the guidance that they need? Because students, so many of us, that have been in families with means have had those opportunities, but 70% of our students across our county come from economically disadvantaged households, and they don't have the means to information. And so when we provide more opportunities, then they can access the jobs that we're producing in our county and give them strong hope for the future. So again, I want to thank the Chamber for allowing me to come on just to give you a quick update and brief. I encourage you to go to our website to look at those resources I mentioned. And I want to thank the Supervisor and the County Board for everything you're doing to support education here in San Bernardino County. Thank you.
Ted, I want to thank you, and I want to thank you for the support of our school districts. Your leadership can't be understated. Best to you and the family, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
We're going to look at a clip here under the direction of Matt Wells. As the superintendent mentioned, the Mountain Desert Career Pathways and Mountain Desert Economic Partnership is really focused on connecting children, really young adults, school age, high school, junior high, into opportunities of career pathways. It's an amazing program. It's very functional. And we're going to take a quick look at a video clip from earlier this year.
Hi, my name is Matt Wells. I'm the director for Mountain Desert Career Pathways. We have a consortium of 9 school districts focused on career pathways for local students. Here we're at Victor Valley College, their airframe and power plant program. And what we do is twice a year we bring students out here. They see GE Aviation, General Atomics, and Squadrum and ComAv as well. And what's amazing is a lot of the students, it's their first opportunity to be out here at the airport. Many of them either don't know it's here or have just never set foot on it. I appreciate all of our industry partners who are so enthusiastic about bringing students out here. You could just tell the passion in their hearts, and so many of them grew up in this area and just want to share that passion and that excitement.
Squadrum is one of the companies that's here in the desert, and we do some really cool things. Working government defense industry, making stuff for the military, really awesome aerospace things. We don't have to go down the hill. We don't have to go to other states. We can live right where we want and commute only 15 minutes to work, which is great.
One neat thing is all these companies are in need of employees who are local, who have technical skills, and it's a neat opportunity for them to see the wide variety, whether they want to become a mechanic, maybe they're interested in some kind of automotive career, they can come and be an airplane mechanic, or they can become an aerospace engineer and go develop rockets down the street.
Being on this aviation field trip has been really fun overall, seeing things that I've never seen before, especially airplanes up close, and being able to be in a cockpit where there's so many buttons that you don't even know where to start or look at.
Aviation is an ideal career for students. It can take you anywhere. You can work your way up. The school's right next door. I mean, it's like the perfect ideal place to really start a future for yourself.
So we know this is effective, and it's an incredible thing. It's going to change the region for sure.
Matt, again, thank you, and thanks for appreciate you joining this morning and highlighting some of really the great work that's being done. It can't be understated. So now we're going to turn, and I'm going to shorten this to keep us on time, Mark, but really in the first district's areas of focus, which I think have been critical. As I finished my 8th year, I look back, and when this started, I was 54. As this ends, I'm going to be 63. It's been an honor, and that's what I could say, to work on behalf of the constituents, all constituents of the high desert. And it's just not been me. It's been really the team of the office. And things that folks do not see, and I say that, is a family showing up on a Friday evening that lacks housing and really needs help. and then folks in the office staying through the Friday evening and ensuring, working with the county, that folks are receiving housing, to having a discovery of a person that was actually dropped off in Barstow, of all areas, blind and deaf, 50-year-old person, and then engaging that on a holiday weekend, starting on a Friday, and literally folks from behavioral health coming and spending the weekend and finding housing with the Catholic Church within Barstow, and ensuring then that the person was connected back with his family and eventually able to be returned home. Those are some of the most really pressing things. Working with the HOPE team on the homeless count, I think to go and find a mother of three living basically under trees and branches, really by no fault of her own, other than some mental health issues, is quite staggering to see and understand. And the HOPE team created under the sheriff, and that has been proactive in our community. Those are some of the real touching things that you look back and you say, we're doing the right things for the right reasons. And then not all people that find themselves in areas of stress, it's not all brought on by a lack of responsibility themselves. It's interesting when you see that it's typically a lack of family and support. Things that we have done, though, proactively in the county and worked, there was a 2-year backlog of mining inspections and permits when we started. Those have been cleared up very effectively. The land use services and what they do within mining, which is one of the major manufacturers throughout the desert. You know, we're blessed with natural resources. Most folks don't understand that. On a recent conversation, literally with the state organization, they want to know why they just couldn't move their company, not understanding that their company was actually physically on top of the resource that we all need for medical supplies, for pharmaceuticals, for a variety of things. We have to fight to have that understanding and what we're blessed with here in the desert. We've also worked with really what were long 6 years issues with General Atomics. They had issues that would not allow them to finish out their facility for really taking care of their employees and getting a cafeteria open. That had gone on as a battle 6 years when we showed up. And when I say that, with Don Hall in my office and ourselves, that hurdle was cleared in 6 months. It was 6 months. So those have been the things. We've worked, actually got with the developer of Cracker Barrel. And as I say that, it was very interesting with the help of Edison. On Thursday afternoon, they shut down Interstate 15 northbound and southbound for 25 minutes. Really, it saved the project, brought it under cost, which is just to highlight those things that we've done. We're also very proud, as Matt now is working, as Ted's mentioned, with our made in the high desert, our manufacturing. And, you know, over 14,000 students has been brought in. And I think overwhelmingly, the greatest thing I hear from the employers of the desert, what really great students we have, how they are looking for engagement. And I always highlight the first year we did this, we actually did it during the high school break. We had over 600 kids come to this program, many with their parents. And again, the employers were just absolutely blown away, from aerospace to engineering to trades to welding to going on to teaching to seeking law or medical degrees. They were just shaking their head at the quality of students. And I got to tell you, myself as a junior or senior in high school, if I was on break, I'd have been hard pressed to go join a career pathway for an afternoon of my free time. And they did, and they came out strong. And it's grown from there. We've worked with Victor Valley Motors, again, engaging over 14,000 students in the opportunities. And I think it's critical. Just as Julie Anderson said from her district attorney's office, she's moved here for that opportunity. We got to raise them here, we got to grow them, and we got to keep them here, because the opportunities exist and living wage opportunities. These folks will become homeowners, they'll buy homes, and we need to lessen that traffic. And as we look, one of the big things in conversation is the Bright Line Express. That's going to be the train from Las Vegas through the high desert down to Ontario, and then at a point going west to connect the 220 corridor. That'll take place. It's been one of the most exciting things to be involved in. And I want to emphasize that's a private-public partnership. And having it led by the private partners, they're moving full speed ahead at rapid speed with improvements to have this take place. It will lessen, just as we know, the Metrolink line in Rancho Cucamonga is the most used line in all of Southern California. I can promise you, with the ability to grab a train and get down the hill, our 80, 90,000 commuters will utilize that, and that'll help improve our district and our quality of life. The other things we've worked hard on and have succeeded, I said, is taking all of our major CSDs and doing major road improvements. Those that happen to live in Spring Valley Lake, after 30 years, you have 30-year brand new roads, Hellendale, Silver Lakes, Wrightwood. We've worked hard to ensure those. All parts of Route 66, trying to improve. One of the pressing issues we had was on the northbound 395 and southbound as you proceeded to the four corners, Highway 58 and 395. We had a number of serious accidents from Atlanta northbound. We worked and brought in the agencies, the sheriff, the highway patrol, and I can share with you proactively in Caltrans, they came in and have outfitted stretches. I know to the frustration of some, but what they call physical delineators. Now we're recording 0 deaths. And that, not you're going to say, but that's the type of, really when you collaborate and work together, things because you have to bring the agencies in. And I got to tell you, it's made a difference. And again, that was a great effort led by Don Holland in our office to do that. As I've talked about Express West, you know, we've got our Veterans Affairs. And again, we're going virtual this year. It's going to be a great affair. Our colonel here, Guerrera, has done and leads the state in delivering benefits to our veterans. And I say that, again, leads the state out of 58 counties. San Bernardino County is the #1. We're still actually blessed as a county with 5 representing all 5 military current branches. And when I say that, we'll probably, I'm certain, have SpaceX in the future, but we have the Air Force, we have the Army, we have the Marines, we actually have the Navy, and we also have the Coast Guard on the Colorado River that they do patrols and provide services. So we have our branches of government. We're rich in our military history. We always have to respect that. And we really owe the obligation to those that have served time and time again, because it can't be understated. It allows us, one, to meet this way and continue our quality of life. We'll work on that. In closing, I would just want to express my sincere thanks to each and every person that we've been able to represent. And it's not been myself. It's been really the team. And I say that the folks in my office, Regina, Susan, Don, Lori, Ron, Tammy, Tony, I think I have them all. And with that, we're going to have a video clip highlight of really, they're laughing. I can hear them in the background. You can't, but they're pointing fingers at me. But I would like to turn to a video clip of each of them having just a moment to share something with you.
Good morning. I'm Lori Marsden, Chief of Staff for the Office of Supervisor Robert Lovingood. It has been an honor and privilege to serve you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Regina Weatherspoon Bell, and for the past 8 years, I've had the privilege and honor to serve the 1st District Supervisor and the constituents of the 1st District as the Deputy Director. Sincerely, thank you for such a privilege, honor, and opportunity.
My name is Don Holland. I'm Policy Advisor to Supervisor Robert Lovingood. During the past 8 years, we've had a wonderful opportunity to work on impactful projects that have made a difference to residents in the 1st District, and it's been an honor to serve you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Susan Drake, and I serve as a Constituent Services Director for Supervisor Lovingood. We've had an amazing time during our service and want to thank each and every one of you for every time you supported and helped us.
Good morning. I'm Tammy Godfrey, Executive Secretary for Supervisor Robert Lovingood. Thank you for the opportunity to serve.
Hi, I'm Tony Mejia. I'm the Administrative Analyst for County Supervisor Robert Lovingood. And I just want to say that I'm very grateful and thankful to have been given the opportunity to serve. And again, thank you and God bless.
Hello, my name is Ron Frame. I'm a field representative for the 1st District Supervisor Robert Lovingood. And I just want to say it's been my pleasure for the past 8 years to serve our community and to be able to represent the supervisor. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Veronica Hill, Communications Specialist for Supervisor Robert Lovingood. I just want to say it's been a tremendous honor working for our constituents these past few years. Thank you so much.
And of course, Veronica, who does our video presentation and a lot of work, was one person that I left off. So Veronica, big shout out. I'm sure you're leading the laughter in the background. Yeah, I'm gonna before I close, I want to ask Matt Wells just to join us with one comment, and then I'm gonna come back just to share a couple words. Matt.
Oh yeah, hi. Thanks for the time, Supervisor, and thanks everybody for a couple moments. Yeah, so you saw in the video, Mountain Desert Career Pathways, we're a 9-district consortium focused on career pathway alignment. Quick update for you, and then a couple quick asks. So as part of an update during distance learning, you can imagine it's pretty hard for teachers to teach how to weld when you don't have the welders in your hand or whatever. So what we've been doing is we've been getting teachers together by discipline. So we cover every industry sector imaginable. We get those teachers together and they're talking about best practices in the distance learning environment. So they're trying to find ways that they can best engage students and prep them up in those industry standard skills as they're waiting to return back to the classroom. As part of that also, what we do is we get feedback from those teachers on how MDCP staff can support students. And so here's our ask, is we're really looking for business partners who would be willing to partner with us and do some like video chats, virtual field trips, ways to kind of show behind the curtain of local careers. So much of the instruction is based on video content that's from out of the area. So we would love to highlight local careers. And then secondly, I also facilitate what's called the Mountain Desert Economic Partnership. And as part of that, we have government, industry, education, community leaders coming together and trying to shape a vision and enact change. So over the next 15 years, we have really successful economic opportunity growth and development in the region, and that the students are well prepared for those careers. And so what we would love to do is invite everybody to come out to, we have a conclave. It's our 3rd annual one. It's going to be on October 23rd. And it's a great opportunity for folks to come and learn what we've been doing for the last year. We've got teams working on an innovation center, 4-year degree access, the essential soft skills training for students, as well as just really strong career pipeline, like roadmaps to the local careers, so everybody has strong pipelines of locally trained talent. So check out our website. I put it in the chat, but we'd love to have you come learn, because we certainly need more voices and we need your help as we build out strong career pathways and economic opportunity in the region. Thanks, Supervisor.
Thank you, Matt. And I'm just going to take a moment to close, and I want to thank everyone and remind the High Desert and San Bernardino County is a great place to live, work, and play. But, I have to kind of come back on something somebody had said. So, what really motivated me to become involved, and I always said this, I had at the time teenage daughters that were turning 13, and I was actually looking for a great venue to escape and I'm just teasing. But you know what? My teenage daughters, when I say that, my son, they're on their own pathways. I really look forward to stepping back. I'll continue to be a part of this community. I'll continue with our friendships that we have, continue to support educational efforts as we create opportunities in the desert. The desert is going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to be a place to go. One of the things I will bring up that we're going to have to look at, and just to highlight, is the fact that we are going to have an ongoing battle on the issue concerning the Joshua Tree, if you haven't heard about that. They're moving that to a study species to move it to a threatened or endangered, even though it was turned down by the federal government. That's something we're going to have to watch. And the other thing I do want to highlight is a recent statewide poll. And it was a very interesting poll just received, shared by an organization, and it's just touching on public safety. And across this state, from the low 60 of 63 to 87%, individuals want to see an increase in public safety within our state. That covers all districts. We know how important that is, and we believe and see forward that we'll continue to have that support in our leadership of our sheriff. To my peers and the county leaders, Ted, across the board, Matt, Julie, Jason, all of you, thank you. You're going to make our community better. You're going to improve the lives of our families, to our churches. You play a huge role that can't be understated. Our nonprofits, they can't be understated. And we've worked collectively over the past 8 years to bring these groups together with education and nonprofits and underserved in our community to make our place better. We need to continue that messaging of strong work together. That's how we improve lives. And I could go on for hours of the individuals in our community that have stepped forward and bring our leadership. We need to mentor that leadership, bring on more youth, because we are a great place to live. So thank you for the opportunity, Mark. Thank you for your members joining. I'm disappointed we weren't able to do it in person, but we'll get back to that, and hopefully sooner than later. So thank you again.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Lovingood, and we sincerely appreciate the time that you gave this morning. We appreciate, even though we're virtual, that this was a true state of the county with various panelists, and I think it went over really well. And on behalf of the Victor Valley and Hesperia Chambers of Commerce, we want to thank you for your leadership over the last 8 years, and we know you're not going to leave us, but we look forward to seeing you in the community. And again, thank you for everything that you've done and as welcoming as you've been to everyone who lives, works, and plays in the high desert. So thank you so much, Supervisor Lovingood. I just want to quickly do just a few quick chamber updates, and then we're going to wrap up. Thank you, all of you, for sticking with us today. The very exciting news, the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce merging vote. That's going to take place for the Victor Valley Chamber at our next Valley Morning Insight. That's going to be on November 4th. Members of the chambers and all the chambers of Adelanto, Apple Valley, Hesperia, and Victor Valley will receive cover letter and a resolution in the mail letting you know when each chamber is going to do their specific votes. We're really excited to be even closer to the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce. So look for that in your mail and look for more information to be emailed out and on our social media pages. As I put in the chat, the chamber is partnering with the Victor Valley College Foundation with the online Rolodex business card opportunity that will be at High Desert Opportunity Summit. If you're interested in an ad, you can just put your business name in the comments, in the chat, and I will go ahead and reach out to you, or you can email me at the chamber. We're still selling our restaurant discount cards, so by all means, please consider purchasing those. Those are restaurants with the Hesperia and the Victor Valley Chamber, only $10, and the cards do not expire until June 30th of next year. And lastly, our online newsletter has been published. You can go to the Hesperia or the Victor Valley Chamber of Commerce website and view our latest Insight magazine that has information from both chambers, Hesperia and Victor Valley. And we're really proud of that online newsletter. And again, as I mentioned, our next VMI will be on November 4th, the day after Election Day. So we'll see everyone's mood during that event. We'll try to keep it really lighthearted because some of you may not even come. But I want to give a special thank you to our MC today, Dr. Kenesha Williams, our presenting sponsors, Cornerstone Development Company and the Victor Valley College Foundation. Of course, special guest, Supervisor Robert Lovingood and all of his panelists. I want to thank Sam That with State of the City Presentations for doing the PowerPoint today. And that's all we have for everybody today. So again, thank you for joining us. Go ahead and all unmute yourselves and say your goodbyes, and we'll see you all real soon. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Great event, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Everyone. Bye. Thank you, everyone. Supervisor.
Bye. Bye. Have a good rest of your day.
Goodbye, everybody. See you all soon.
Okay.
Be safe. Be healthy.